MVP.
Hits one in the air, left center field, back it goes! Harper, the swing of his life!
You never get ahead of yourself. As Harris down the field,
I know Rangers do every day. It's always been that way for me. Always been a get better mentality every day, grow every day, be a better leader every day, be a better quarterback every day. And when that wrench do, I don't plan on missing no payments. So.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to 3 in the Keystone, episode 89. Myself and Chris Guest. Al Ryan on a minutes restriction tonight. He will be joining us shortly, but a little under the weather, so he says, and he doesn't get any sympathy from his wife, so I don't expect any of our fans to give him any sympathy either, Chris.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to get on here and join us soon so I don't have to deal with your crap by myself.
It does take two to handle me, that's for sure. Episode 89. There's a bunch of number 89s out there, Chris, but I got to go with a guy who we actually mentioned in our movie podcast, our segment a few weeks ago, that Mike Ditka.
Okay.
Number 89. I don't know if you have any other ones. I have Steve Smith Sr.
I always go for the bust out. I was going for Calvin Williams.
Calvin Williams, another thought. I have my bust out, Alexander McGillney.
Oh, the hockey player?
Yeah.
Was he on the Flyers?
Devils for sure. I don't think he ever was a Flyer.
Man, McGillney. I haven't heard that name in 20 years.
Speaking of bust out, did you hear last week before you got on the Luther Broughton shout out?
Lou Broughton?
Yeah.
That was my guy.
I forget what number episode that was, but you weren't on, and we gave Luther a shout out.
Yeah, that was my guy. Him and I'll tell you another tight end I used to love that in hindsight, it's like, bro, are you seriously? It was dark days. You remember the other tight end that we had? That was like decent.
Jason Dunn?
Huh?
Jason Dunn?
Oh man, dude, I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah, he's one.
Who's the other one?
That Kasim Sensino.
That's I was never going on with that. Shout out to Kasim.
Dude, Jason Dunn, he was all right.
No, he sucked, dude.
He was all right.
I
mean, did his thing for a little bit, but again, it was dark times. We were just reaching for anybody at that point.
Get out of here with that. Listen, I got to do one other personal shout out here. I don't really do this on the pod, but I promised him. Fellow, Hill member back in the day, Mr. Nick Vigiano. Now he's living as a handyman. We were having some problems in the house with the garbage disposal. Gave us a couple tips. Garbage disposal back up and working. I got to give him a shout out. Save me a few $100 there.
All right.
So,
very nice.
That's the payment. The payment is a little shout out to him. Good handy guy in the area. That's for sure. So shout out to Nick. Listen, one other thing to clean up. 3K Podcast is a proud partner of the Sunshine Sandwich Shop at 5154 Ridge Ave in Manayunk. I did see today they had a new sandwich that I'm going to pull up now for you, Chris. A little chicken cutlet with fried prosciutto. Clicking the wrong buttons here. Cooper sharp cheese, roasted red, shredded lettuce, and Calabrian chili pepper sauce.
I think that was the one that I did see on their Instagram page.
Yes, that's where I saw it today.
Yeah,
that's the special this week. Swing by the Sunshine Sandwich Shop. Tell them 3K Podcast sent you, and they will help you out there. So, and you get yourself a nice little lunch. Maybe watch a little NCAA tournament this weekend.
I'm going to definitely try to swing down there this weekend to grab that one. That sounds really good.
That does sound good. All right, Chris, you ready to jump into segment 1 tonight?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, we're going to change it. We're going to change the tune. We're going to change the atmosphere. You may have walked out of your house last week, not today for sure. Felt that spring warmth.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
That
week was it felt like it was years ago instead of 6-7 days.
Yeah, but you got a couple nice days in you, and maybe you could hear the snap of the mitt, somebody throwing in the backyard. But we are roughly 9 days away from the Phillies opener. Obviously a big.
Let me cut you off for a quick second.
Sure.
You brought up a great point. What's the sound or the sensory activity that gets you going when you think about the baseball season?
Excuse me. I've always loved the sound of the catcher's mitt. A little different sound than a normal mitt, but the pop of the catcher's mitt is the one that always gets me going.
Especially right before the pop when you get the whiz of the fastball going into the mitt.
Yeah,
When you got someone got some nice little juice on their ball.
yep.
Pause.
That's a good one. The whiz of the fastball's in there too. But you got to be real close to hear the whiz of the fastball.
Yeah, or throw it really hard. One or the other. I wouldn't know anything about that. I never been one to get the whiz of the fastball. But
now, I've seen you log a couple at bats in your day. Scrimmage.
Well, you might have seen me get some at bats, so you didn't see me hit the ball. And you damn sure didn't see me throw the ball that ended up getting the whiz into the mitt.
But listen, the Phillies open up next weekend, next Thursday against the Braves. We're going to get treated to a special right off the bat. Zach Wheeler and Spencer Strider. I always want to call him Steven Strider, and I have no idea why. But Spencer Strider, so a playoff caliber matchup, arguably two of the top 3 or 4 pitchers in all of baseball. But it's time to talk a little bit about the Phillies, and let's just start with, I have a bunch of over-unders. I have a bunch of comparisons I want to do, but let's just start with, what's your general feel of where this team stacks up in the National League right now and where you think they'll end up at the end of the year?
I think we're in a good spot. It's hard because, like, the Phillies are notorious for always starting out slow. But a lot of reasons why we've started out slow aren't really the case this year. Like, for instance, last year we had some injuries. Bryce wasn't ready yet. If I remember correctly, Ranger wasn't ready yet. We had the World Baseball Classic where Trey Turner, Real Muto, some of the other guys from the Central and Southern and South American countries that had participated weren't, they had been in the World Baseball Classic, so they weren't ready to play yet. They were ready, but I mean, like, they were, it's hard to go from the adrenaline of a competition like that down to a spring training or the beginning of a season where the games are like meaningful, but they're not what they were in the World Baseball Classic for those guys. So all those things come into play last year with this team, and it contributed to the slow start. The year before that, we had, the Girardi situation where those guys just seemed to not be responding to Girardi as their manager, and they needed a kick in the butt, and they got one when he got fired, brought Rob Thompson in, obviously, and the rest was history with that. But this year, it seems like there's no drama in spring training this year for the Phillies, which is great. That's actually a positive. Boring is good in some cases. And for the Phillies to just be kind of going through it and having that camaraderie that they're all used to and that we're all used to from them, just continues to build in terms of their chemistry together as a clubhouse. And I don't think there's anything bad about that. I think that it puts them in a better spot this year than they have been in the last few years.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. The one injury you forgot to mention last year, obviously, was the Hoskins injury, which was a big one.
Right. Yeah.
That sent the team for a loop without Harper and him to start the season. That was a big time loss. But to your point, Chris, I don't remember a time in any sport in Philadelphia where we've seen a team pretty much stay completely intact from year to year.
Right.
I mean, you look, besides Kimbrel, there's not really – yeah, there was no way they were bringing him back after the way it ended. But besides Kimbrel, there's really not a lot of – there's no turnover. It's the same starting 8, essentially. I mean, we'll figure out who's going to start in center field at some point this year. But other than that, which the same starting 5 rotation, essentially the same bullpen. Really the only addition this year was Whit Merrifield, who's going to come in and be that utility guy for them off the bench. And you and I are both very bullish on that acquisition, but there's really not anything new. There's no fresh blood, which can be a good thing in the fact that, like you said, the clubhouse and the chemistry of this team is really, really one of the strong points. But at the same time, it could be a little stagnant. Sometimes you need a little spark, especially for the fans. Like Trey Turner was new last year, and that was what was bringing you out to see Trey Turner. Now it's just like, okay, we got to run this team back again. We got to see what's going on.
Well, I'll say though, like you do kind of get a spark though, because having Bryce to start the year this year is a spark. I think having Trey Turner getting in a second season in the city and with this team, and hopefully having the confidence that he exuded at the second half of the season last year, starting off this year with that, hopefully. I think that's a big boost. So I slightly disagree with that. I think that even though it's nothing that has to do with an acquisition or anything of that nature, I think that they still can get a boost internally from some of these situations, having these guys ready to go.
No, you're right about that. I just meant from like you always want something new sometimes to see. You want to see a new player. You want to see how they're going to respond, and we're really not going to have that with this team. But with that said, I was looking through the rosters in the National League this morning, and there's really not. I mean, you have the Dodgers. The Dodgers are the top. Went out and spent all that money this offseason with Ohtani, with Tyler Glass now, a bunch of other acquisitions to add on to Mookie Betts, to add on to Freddie Freeman and that team. Atlanta's going to be there, but I look at Atlanta's roster, and we've beaten them to 2 years in the playoffs, and their offense is still loaded, Chris. But I still don't love the pitching staff from top to bottom. I think we have an advantage on them there. And outside of that, you have Arizona, who you're going to have to show respect to for going back to the World Series.
Yeah. I think that was a flash team. I don't know if they're going to be as good.
I like their roster. I think they've got some good players. I mean, Corbin Carroll's really good. They got Zach Gallen at the top of that rotation. The catcher Moreno is going to be a nice player. Yeah. I think them being a World Series contender is probably a little.
That's what I mean. They could be a playoff team. I just don't think I don't think what they did last year. I don't think they're going to get to that point with this team.
Right, and then you'll have.
They shouldn't have got it last year.
Right. San Francisco made a couple moves this offseason. They signed Blake Snell last night, so that'll help them. You have San Diego, who ended up losing more pieces than they gained, but they underachieved last year for sure.
Yeah, I'm not big on San Diego. Those guys don't have – they got a little bit of a heart missing in that team, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Again, they lose Soto. They lose Hader. So they did lose a couple guys. They add Dylan Cease, who could be a nice piece for them. But it's just weird because they – like you said, from a record standpoint, they really underachieved, but from a run differential standpoint, they should have been a lot better. So you don't know if that evens itself out over the course of a season.
And also, I guess at this point too, like so for the, I haven't got a chance to go over all these rosters, but just off memory, I'm trying to remember with Snell gone, who's their ace right now?
Well, it'll be Cease, who they just picked up,
right?
And then let me pull up the rest.
You think he's
Joe Musgrove is still there. He's decent.
You think he's a true ace for a competitive team?
Who'd you say?
You think Cease is a true ace for a contending team?
I think he can be. I think he's that good if he puts it all together. He was a Cy Young candidate a few years ago.
Yeah.
And they still have Darvish. And then they picked up Michael King from the Yankees in the Soto trade. So I actually like their rotation a little bit. The loss of Hader will obviously hurt. And then, you mentioned some of the losses in the lineup with Soto for sure. That's going to be a huge loss for them. But again, I don't think they're on the tier. I think it's Phillies, Dodgers, Braves is the top tier in, I think the Dodgers are right now the cream of the crop. And then I think Phillies and Braves, I've favored the Braves the last few years, but I don't think you can anymore. I think it's 1A, 1B, whichever way we want to put it.
Well, let me put you on the spot because you're more of a baseball guy than I am. Is there a team out there that can be this year's Arizona that you think that's under the radar that can make a run?
Maybe Cincinnati.
I was thinking somebody in the Central, or the Cubs, or the Reds.
The Cubs were decent last year. Those are the two. Those are the two that are out there. It's just a matter of. I mean, the thing for the Cubs is going to be like Bellinger was unbelievable for them last year. He signs the contract. Can he do it again? Some of his analytic stats aren't favorable. And then they have their pitching staff. Justin Steele was great for them last year. Can he do it again? I actually think Cincinnati's more of an up-and-coming team that we'll see what they have. They have Ellie De La Cruz, who's going to be a guy who's become a household name in a few years. A Matt McClain, a Spencer Steer. They've got some hitters in that lineup. And then they add a Frankie Montas. They've got some really young talent. They're probably a year away, but if you want me to give you a team to keep an eye on, it's probably Cincinnati.
Okay.
All right, I want to go into some of these over-unders and some of these comparisons for you, and we'll talk it out here.
This is going to be all off the cuff because I have not to be totally transparent, had a chance to really do a lot of research on this.
Don't break down the fourth wall. Just go with it. Nobody's gonna
Hey,
know.
we keep it 100 for our key. You know what? And speaking of which, I'm glad that we actually had that. We were talking about this last week or 2 weeks ago with a name for our listeners,
Okay.
and it hit me driving the other day on the road. Keystoners,
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
right?
The Keystoners, it is.
Plays off of the words of the pod plus like the stoners. Like you're not high on that stuff, you're high on the good stuff, which is us.
We're gonna go with the Stoners. Shout out to all you Stoners that are there
These
listening,
stoners.
watching this right now. I see you. I see the numbers at the top of the screen, looking good. Feel free to comment in the chat if you guys don't like the name there.
I'll be trademarking that tonight.
But listen, I mentioned that there's a lot of holdovers and it's a lot of the same team, but there's one position that's a little bit up in the air, and that's center field.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a transition last year. It was Brandon Marsh initially, turned into Johan Rojas's job throughout the season. He kind of get exposed in the playoffs. So my question to you is, we also had Christian Pache in that mix as well. Who, at the end of the year, who has the most starts in center field for this team?
I'm going to go for shock value here, but I do believe it could happen. How about Whit Merrifield?
All right, I'm gonna agree, but I'm gonna disagree with you.
Okay.
So I'm on the same train of thought as you are with that. But my thought would be, if Whit Merrifield gets in this lineup, it's Brandon Marsh going back to center field and Whit would play left.
But yeah, I mean that's very probable.
So
I just think that he's going to find a way to get into the everyday lineup. I think he's still too good of a player to just be on the bench all the time.
Yeah, I agree. And I think I would be shocked if Johan Rojas made this roster out of spring. He's hitting 160 in spring training. You know, Pache has been pretty good by all accounts. I think he's hitting like 280 or somewhere around there. I think, you don't lose a lot with Pache defensively. He's not Rojas. Rojas is probably the best defensive center fielder in all of baseball. But you need the guy to
really. You think that already?
I mean, the metrics last year on him.
I agree with you. I'm just saying. I'm surprised to hear you say that. I thought that last year too, but even as a rookie, I saw that. But I'm surprised and happy to hear you say that.
Listen, I'm not a huge analytics guy. I've said that many times, and I'm especially not a huge defensive analytics guy because a lot of it's subjective. But if you prorated his time in center field, he would have led all of baseball in defensive runs saved, and it would have been by like 15 or 16 runs. It wasn't close if he would have played a full season.
But that could be his meal ticket to stay on the team. I think honestly, right now, if you're talking about Pache versus Rojas, I think right now Pache has a slight edge. But I'm a Rojas guy. I would have no problem if Rojas was in opening day in the starting lineup in center field. I think he could use a little bit more seasoning in AAA. I wouldn't have a big problem with that. But defensively, I mean, he's a major league player. There's no doubt about that. He just needs to be able to just be more consistent at the plate. I know he's put on some muscle weight this offseason, and he's trying to get a little bit more pop without losing any of his speed from getting a little heavier. But I wouldn't be opposed to seeing him get some ABs in with the Iron Pigs to start the year.
Yeah, especially just to get his confidence up. Again, it's a long season. He's going to be up at some point. He's 23 years old.
And you don't lose a lot with Pache. And I mean, he's right there. He's right. Like, I mean, if Rojas is an A+ defender, Pache's an A defender.
And let's be real. Brandon Marsh is an A- defender. So if Brandon Marsh has to go back to center field, that's fine as well.
No question, 100%. So you don't really lose a lot defensive. We're in good shape defensively with that position. I just, like I said, I don't know. I just have this gut feeling somewhere in this lineup, you're going to find Whit Merrifield a lot more than not.
Well, the beautiful thing is he's so flexible in where he can play. He can play second base. He can play shortstop. He can play third if he has to. He can play either of the corner outfielders. If you need him in center, he can probably go there, but you seem to have enough options there. He can do all these things. So anytime somebody needs a day off, he can kind of fill in at that spot and be a valuable player for your team and, hit 270 or 280, he's not going to hit a ton of homers, but he can slap it around. He can run a little bit. He's just a nice all-around player, and I think he'll fit in. And I think I wouldn't be shocked if Whit Merrifield started 125 or 130 games by the end of the year.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And you said steal a little bit. Didn't he lead the league in stolen bases last year or 2 years ago? Or
you're dating yourself a little bit, my man.
Wasn't it? No, it wasn't that long ago.
I'm pulling it up now. Whit Merrifield's Baseball Reference.
I'm pretty sure it was relatively recent.
2021. So yeah, you're right. Not too long ago.
Yeah.
He had 26 last year and hit 272. So, again, decent year. Nice little player. I'll go with Brandon Marsh. Most starts in center field though. With Whit moving over.
The thing we got to see with Merrifield is how he plays on a contending team like the Phillies in this market, because he's never really played if I remember correctly, he's been with Kansas City and he's been with Toronto, if I believe, right?
Toronto last 2 years.
Toronto a little bit.
Toronto
Was it 2 years or just last year?
A year and a half. He got traded at the deadline in 22.
Right. So, Toronto's a decent market, but they didn't really go anywhere deep as far as postseason is concerned. So we'll see how he performs with those kind of pressures on him. But I like the guy. I think he can handle it. I'm not really worried about him. But yeah, we're on the same page with that. I think he's going to play a lot more than people think.
All right, let's go to the next one. I got home run props for you here. I took the first two off of the Vegas number, so these are not made up. And the last guy didn't have one, but I made one up myself. Bryce Harper, 30.5 homers. Now, I'm going to give you his number since he joined the Phillies. He had 35 in 2019. In 2020, it's the COVID year. We'll count that out. In 2021, he had 35. In 2022, he had 18. He only played 99 games. And in last year, he had 21. So Bryce Harper, 30.5 homers.
And last year's 21 was also affected by games.
He played 126 games last year.
Yeah, I'm big on the over on that one. Even if you extrapolate, what was it, 2022, where he had what was it that he had for 22?
He had 18 homers in 99 games.
Yeah, so if you extrapolate that, it's probably close to. It's definitely over 30 for a season. So yeah, I'm definitely over on that. And I think also he's not only is he healthy, but physically, but mentally, he's set in his position. He's now comfortable playing first base. He's really good at first base. Like Harper's the kind of guy, like he could be a sneaky. If anybody out there is betting on like Gold Gloves, I wouldn't be surprised if he was a candidate for a Gold Glove this year at first base. What I saw from him last year was exceptional for a guy that just started playing that position. He was really good.
Yeah, he's so athletic. The only issue with him was sometimes he would over pursue balls a little bit that were the second base balls.
Yeah,
but he was tremendous over there at first base. Yeah. And what I think is a good point to lead into, I'm also going with the over at homers. I think he gets close to 40. I think you're just betting on his health essentially. And I think at first base, he has a better chance of staying healthy than he would if the outfield. But to my point was 2 years ago, when you looked at this Phillies team, the big issue was they weren't good defensively and they couldn't defend. And now you look and you have JT Realmuto, who's not the catcher he was 3 years ago, but is still a plus defensive player.
Defensively, he's still, yeah.
Bryce Harper at first, who's a plus defender. Bryson Stott, who's a Gold Glover at second base. Then you have Brandon Marsh in left field, a plus defender. You're going to have Pache or Rojas in center field, who's a plus defender. You've got 5 or 6 really good defensive players out there, and Alec Boehm, who's gotten better at third base. So you just really have Trey Turner, who needs to improve, and Castellanos, who's decent last year. Like, they're not a bad defensive team like they were.
No, and skill-wise, they got all the tools. It's just you got to hope that they don't have any boneheaded plays, any boneheaded errors where they just have mental lapses. That's for me what I worry about. But overall, you're right. They're definitely a stronger, better, more confident team defensively, especially if Trey comes out. Last year, remember, Trey was not good defensively.
He was terrible.
And I think a lot had to do with nerves. I really do. I think that just getting in a new situation, a new team, new teammates, a new market, the whole thing. I think that took a toll on him a little bit. So I think now that he's, again, a second year in this role, in this team, with these guys, I think he's going to be a lot better at the plate and defensively. Also, I wanted to say, I heard the other day, I haven't really caught a lot of spring training, As far as watching on TV, I've been checking it out and reading up on it and seeing what people are doing in box scores, things like that. But I heard that JT has made a change in his swing.
He found a hole in his swing. About time.
Yeah, and he's been mashing. So hopefully that sticks this year. That'd be huge if he has a big year offensively. That'd be really big for this team.
Be sure. All right, the next one I have is Kyle Schwarber, and the Vegas number is 39.5. His 2 years in Philadelphia, he hit 46 and 47 homers, so he's gone well over that number. But he's been a beacon of health since he's been here. 155 games in 22 and 160 games in 23. Chris, do we have another 40 home run season coming for Kyle Schwarber?
So again, you're talking about health being an issue in terms of if he can stay healthy a third straight year. If they keep him out of the field and as a DH, I think that goes a long way, and I think that he would well surpass that total. I'm going to go over on that. I'm going to go over, but not by a lot. I mean, I think he might get like 40, 41. I mean, you're going to be sweating. You're going to be needing some deodorant, getting that bet placed throughout the year.
Yeah, we agree again. I just don't see, if you're a betting person, when somebody's hit 46 and 47 homers and has hit for the average that he's hit for, that can always go up if that average goes up a little bit. So you might run into 2 or 3 more. And like you said, he's going to be DHing, so he's not going to have to play left field for all those games. So I think there's a better chance of him staying healthy. I'll go over as well on Kyle Schwarber for another 40 homer season.
That's a line.
The last one here, I made up my own.
Okay.
I got Nicky Batts, your boy, 25.5 homers. Last year he hit 29. The year before that he only hit 13. If you go to the year before that in Cincinnati, he hit 34. What kind of year do you have your boy Nicky Batts have?
What was the number you had?
25.5.
All right, I'm going to tell you something. The other night, I had a dream that Castellanos won MVP. And I legit woke up and I was like, what the hell? Like, I'm just trying to visualize if that could actually happen. Dude, you never know. If he has a year like he did in Cincinnati before with us, like, and with this lineup, who knows?
You've gone a complete 180 on Nick Castellanos.
Well, first of all, I didn't look. I can't help my subconscious. All right, I don't know where that came from. I didn't wish that. That's just kind of what happened in my dream.
Just in time.
I almost didn't come on when I heard that. I almost just shut it down, shut the whole computer down.
Castellanos for MVP for guest.
When you was talking about your dreams here, you're like,
oh man, yeah, dude,
yeah,
dream sequence, dream chasers.
Wow.
No, we're talking about. I was saying how I had a dream the other night that Castellanos won MVP.
I know. That's what I heard. That when I joined, that's what I joined too. Was that
problem? And then you could have eeasily been like, oh yeah, they own some other stuff.
Yeah,
tonight.
well, I'm out.
Drop that beat. No, but I'll go. What was it? 19.5? You said?
No, 25.5.
25.5.
Great number.
Again, it depends on where they got this guy in the lineup and who's pitching or who's batting behind him, if he's getting any protection. I'll say he gets like 27, so I'll go over.
All right, I'm going to go under. Just a lot of holes in that swing. I could see a few more days off, again, with Merrifield being on the team. So I'll go under. I think probably closer to 22 or 23 homers for Nicky Batts.
There was a one of the games that I did actually catch this spring so far on the weekend was they were talking about how it's becoming like Ben Simmons workout summer tapes. Castellanos working on his strike zone and hitting the ball, being disciplined at the plate. And literally, as they said that, he swung at a 1-2 pitch that was not even close to the plate. Now, of course, 1-2 count, you're going to get junk, but he went and chased it. Like it was like a foot off the plate, went for it. And I was like, there he goes. So we'll see. But I can't. I mean, his first year here, he can't. I think that'll go down as his worst full season campaign he'll have. I don't think he can be to that level again. So I'll go with the over by 1 or 2 home runs.
All right, fair enough. All right, a couple other comparisons, and then we'll jump to some March Madness. Who has more steals this year, Trey Turner or Bryson Stott? So Trey Turner, the known speedster, last year for the Phillies had 30 stolen bases. I'm pulling up Bryson Stott's numbers now. I believe Bryson Stott had 31, if I'm not mistaken. So who are we going to take for more stolen bases this year? Bryson Stott did have 31.
I would go with Trey. Trey hasn't gotten caught yet as a Philly, if I'm not mistaken.
Trey Turner, no caught stealings.
Yeah, so I'll go Trey there. It also depends on where they're going to end up putting Stott in this order. Actually, both of them. I think if they're more to the top, whoever's at the top of that order might be in a better position to get more stolen bases, but they also could hold them at bay because they want to protect the outs with those sluggers up to try to bring them in. So I don't know. I'll say Trey though. I'll say Trey.
Well,
I'll agree with you.
What kills Trey is having Schwarber doesn't hit a lot of singles, but he does walk a lot.
Yeah.
So having that roadblock in front of him on second base sometimes kills his opportunities. I would still take Trey though.
Yeah.
Also true. I'll take Trey too because I think he obviously had the slow start last year. Finished the year with an on-base percentage of 320. That's considerably lower than where he's been in the past. So I think he gets on base at a little bit higher clip this year, and he'll have more opportunities to run. So I'll go Trey as well.
But I think Stott has potential to. I mean, that's my guy. He's one of my favorite guys on the team. I think that he potentially could have. I mean, I've said this before. I think he could be this generation's Chase Utley. I really do. I think he's got that. I think he's got a better glove than Chase did already, and I think that we'll see with his consistency at the plate. But I love that kid, man. I think he's a player.
That's a little disrespectful of Chase's glove, man. He was
very, nice, but he was
very
good. Scott almost won a Gold Glove in really his second full season.
Yeah, but I'm just some of the most memorable plays in Phillies history, especially of us as being fans, is Chase in the field.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this: that's more of a praise of Stott's glove than a diss at Utley's. I'll put it like that.
All right, batting average. Last year, Brandon Marsh 277, Alec Boehm 274. Who ends up this year with the higher batting average, Alec Boehm or Brandon Marsh?
I don't think either one of them are going to get to that number again this year, personally. I'll say Boehm.
I'll say Marsh.
I'm gonna go Marsh as well. I think you're gonna see, Boehm, we got the story last year that he added all that muscle. But I think this is the year that he's going to try to hit some more homers. So I think you may see a dip in that average, and maybe he hits 5 to 7 more homers at the end of the year. So
I mean, I'm just going off pedigree. Boehm is, what was he, a top 5 pick?
Number 3 overall. Marsh was a first rounder too, though.
No, I know. But yeah, I'll go with Boehm there.
Marsh was a second rounder, actually, now that I'm looking at it. All right, let's close with this. The Vegas over-under for wins for this team is 89.5. Are you going to go over or under? I don't think they haven't won 90 games since 2011, probably. Give me one
definitely
second.
2011. That was 101, I think they won that year. Or 100.
I'm going the wrong way here. 2011, they won 102 games. Actually, they ended up winning 90 last year. So they did win. They did touch 90 last year. Do they do it again?
That's a great number. Al, you want to take that first?
Yeah, I'll take the over. I'm not scared. Give me the over. And you know what? I read something today that talked about how the Phillies are fighting for the wild card, just basically saying they're not even a contender to win the division because it's quote the Braves division. Now, the article went on to say that hasn't mattered because of what the Phillies have done in the postseason as a wild card team. But to me, that's disrespectful. I know the Braves are good. They're a great regular season team. But this Phillies team has a lot of talent in the field. Defensively, they look much better than they have in the past couple of years. The pitching is there. The hitting is there. The health is there this year. The health is there from the start. And I think that's the big difference maker in this year's team. I think 94, 95 wins is not out of the question as a floor if they stay healthy.
I'm on board, Al. I think that this is the peak year. I think they have the clubhouse. There's no questions about who's doing what the roles are. This team is a solid base. They like each other. I think this is, if we're riding this as a peak curve, I think we're about to touch the peak. and this is going to be the season to remember, I think. So I'm going to go over as well. I think they touch 94, 95 wins. And, I mentioned it earlier. I'm not sure if you were on, but I think they're 1A, 1B with the Braves. Like, I don't think it's definite that the Braves are a better team than them.
Yeah, and if we're saying earlier in the show how, they're in a better spot to start the year this year now than they were the last year or two, then and they won 90 last year, then you got to go with the over. Then if that's our logic, then you've got to imagine that they're going to win a few extra games than they would have last year, and then whether it's 2 extra games or 10 extra games, you got to figure they're going to win some extra games over that total from last year. So I guess, yeah, I'll go with you guys. I'll go with you, Al. I'll go with the over on that. I don't know where on the over. It could be 90.
Doesn't matter.
But
The over's the
it's
over.
but hey, cashing it in is cashing it in. I'll take the over.
All right. So listen, we'll have a lot more Phillies talk as the year goes on. Baseball season actually opens tomorrow. I'm not sure if you guys know that, over in Japan.
Yeah.
The Dodgers and the Padres will be throwing first pitch at 6:05 a.m. So make sure you check that out.
I'll check the highlights out for that one.
Darvish. Yeah, who you kidding? You'll be up with the babies.
I'll be up and I gotta get out here to go to school and stuff, but I'm not gonna be home to watch it. But I mean, I don't really I'm not a big West Coast dude with those teams.
No, I know. But it'll be interesting to see Darvish in the Dodger uniform.
You mean Ohtani?
Yes, I do mean Ohtani. Thank you.
Well, speaking of baseball, I saw that somebody put a little fantasy baseball draft in the StreamYard.
Yeah, that was me and Liam were doing we're a combo team, so this was the war room.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to have an invasion. Diversa and I were going to invade.
We didn't even end up using it, so it would have been blank. But that's good. That's a good research by you there. Speaking of research, you're probably filling out your March Madness bracket as we speak. Al, do you want to again go into your tournament? I had somebody text me about getting in, so I'm not sure if they reached out to you. I forwarded them the email.
Listen,
Mr. Matt Butterly.
Yeah, he's in. Mr. Butterly is in. I've gotten some new names this year, so either through the pod or word of mouth. If this is your first time joining, welcome. I started this back in 2012, so this is over a decade in existence. This pool. The big thing to know if this is your first time is the scoring is a little different, in which you're going to get the amount in the seeding of the team. So, for instance, if you pick an 8 seed in the first round over a 9 seed, you're going to get 8 additional points to your pick. And the reason for that is it encourages those upset picks, and it also gives more value to the upset pick. So, if you're somebody like a good buddy of mine, Joe Demands, who every year has 4 1 seeds, he has 1, 2, 3, 4 in the Sweet 16 in every quadrant. He's not going to be necessarily rewarded for that because
they call him Joey Chalk. They call him.
Yeah, Joey Chalks.
Joey Chalk.
But if you're taking 12 over 5s and you're hitting them, you're going to get those additional points. And those points matter. They add up. In the past, I've had years where people who did not pick the champion still placed in the top 5 and were able to take home some of the money because the top 5 do pay. I get around $3,000 in the pot every year. So, I'm hoping to match that. And Adam, Chris, you guys know it. You can say it for me. Who's the reigning defending champ?
Uh-oh.
UConn. That's who.
Yeah, your boy. Which I'm actually worried that there might be some less entries this year because people probably think there was some shenanigans going on.
Hey,
when you're on the CBS or ESPN portal, there's no hiding. It is what it is.
It is what it is. It's all there, right?
And also, even when I was competing for the football one that we had, listen, we know our stuff. All right. We're not some slouches up here. We're here for a reason. All right. We got some credentials. So it is what it is.
And listen, if you stick around to the end of this segment, I'm going to give away a couple of my secrets. I got some secrets in the barrel, guys, that I was gonna take to the grave. But since I won last year, I said, you know what? Let me let some things slip out here. Yeah, so I'm going to let some things slip and slide records. All right.
Well, we're gonna run through a bracket now. That's the plan here. A 3K bracket. No, we're gonna enter this in the pool, correct?
Well, here, let me do mine because this is the actual pool entry, Seltzer.
So I'll unshare.
Let me pull my screen up.
Good. So we don't have to fill it out again after this.
Correct. Yes, this will be the entered bracket. Let me just find the window here. I believe it's this one. You guys can tell me if this is not correct. Does it say get your bracket on?
Yes.
All right. All right. So we're going to start in the East. And I think, gentlemen, unless somebody wants to override me here, I think we can advance all the 1 seeds in the first round, right?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's fine.
All right. So I'll go ahead and I'll advance them at least 1 spot. So that's UConn.
Although,
Houston.
did you see that? I mean, it's a little bit of a stretch, but I saw on Twitter the last 3 years, there's been a 15 or 16 seed with the name of some sort of sexual reference that has gotten passed. So it's been Fairleigh Dickinson, St. Peter's. That's a little bit of a stretch. And Oral Roberts the last 3 years. Now, Longwood is out there.
Longwood fits the bill.
Yeah. If you're a trends guy, you might want to take Longwood.
Longwood. All right.
All right, just consider that out there.
Oh, man.
So as we go through this, my thought was we pick every game, right? Majority rules, but we each get 1 override for the entire bracket. And you got to use it right then and there. So if you feel really passionately about a team advancing over another, but you get outnumbered, you can use that override.
All right. Let's do it. Let's try and go a little bit quicker. UAB Northwestern.
FAU Northwestern.
FAU Northwestern. Great start.
Yeah, what are we doing? I did want to mention that Northwestern has Boo Buie leading the way. The senior guard averages 19 points. He's actually the younger brother of Penn State's Taylor Battle. There's 11 years separating the two of them. But with that said, I'm taking FAU. I think FAU, they were in the Final Four last year. They're a very good team.
I'm taking Northwestern because, first of all, they have Boo Buie, and I'm not going to root against Boo Buie. And second of all, FAU just lost to Temple.
Hey, T for Temple U in the building. Almost pulled out the upset for the tournament.
Guess you're the tiebreaker.
Well, I told you guys the other day. I mean, I'm just messing around with. I mean, I'm obviously a Temple alum, but that Temple team had no business getting where they got. Shout out to Coach Fisher for motivating those guys to get where they got, because skill wise they weren't there. They would have gotten destroyed in the tournament. But I'm going to go FAU because I think that was just a rough game for them. The Temple was riding some momentum in that. Florida Atlantic's legit. They're a good team. And like you said,
we got 63 games to go. We are.
Yeah, well, listen to the show. You know where I'm coming from at this point. So, Florida Atlantic, I'll go with them.
All right. Moving on to the 5-12 matchup. It's San Diego State and UAB. What do you got, guys?
I'll go San Diego State. The only team UAB can beat is Temple.
Yeah. I'm gonna go San Diego State also.
Yeah, they play that.
That one dude got hot as balls on UAB in that championship against us. He ain't doing that again.
But I do think that a team like San Diego State is a team primed for an upset. Teams that rely on defense in the tournament, if they play a team that gets hot, starts stroking the three, they can be ousted in the first round, definitely. But all three of us on San Diego State. Let's go to Auburn and Yale.
Going Auburn. Yale does have a 7-footer. You got to take it, but a big white stiff. Auburn defensively really good, but they're only 3-6 against tournament teams. But I think my man Bruce Pearl will have them ready.
Yeah, Johnny Broom is nice. They got 3-point shooters. I think Auburn wins easy here.
Not so fast, my friends.
We're going to the override.
You going to override?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Yale, and here's the reason why. This is when the part of the show when I'm going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about, even though I'm getting it from another source. But I found a stat that says the Ivy League champion has become a feared foe for top seeds. So the last 11 Ivy League reps, 5 have advanced past the first round, 2 have gone over to the Sweet 16. Yale's always a team that does fight hard in the postseason in the tournament. So I'm gonna go with the Bulldogs.
Are you gonna override us?
You only have one override. Is this where you're using it?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on there.
All right. We're going Yale.
On Yale, the 13.
Okay.
Well, we have our big upset so far in the first round. Next is number 6 BYU against 11 seed Duquesne.
All right, I'm
going BYU here. I think Duquesne snuck in. They won their tournament. I don't think they have any business being in the tournament.
I got BYU as well. Little fact on BYU, they shoot more threes than anybody in the entire field, but they only shoot 32% from 3. But they're going to chuck them up, and I'm fine with that. So I'm going to go BYU.
Yeah, I'm with you guys.
All right. 3 seed Illinois against Morehead State. I think Illinois is actually probably could have been a 2 seed. They're very good. I think they have no trouble with Morehead State.
I agree.
Yeah, I'll go there with you guys also.
All right, and then we have the 7-10 Washington State and Drake.
Drake's in the tournament, Drizzy.
I'll hit Drake here. Washington State's good. They beat Arizona twice this year, but I like Drake as a team that returned to the tournament, and they gave Miami a really good game last year, and I think Miami ended up in the Final Four. So, experienced team, the mid-major. Give me Drake, and the opportunity to get some more points in this pool.
Yes, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go Drake too. I know Washington State. They had one of the worst resumes that got in here among all the power schools, and they are not a good free throw shooting team. If it's a close game, they might struggle with the line. I'll take Drake.
All right, that's 3 for 3 with the upset. Drake, listen, they have the 2-time Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year in Tucker DeVries. The kid can just fill it up. So I like Drake. Washington State, who even are they? And then the last game there is the number 2 seed Iowa State against South Dakota State.
Iowa State.
Yeah.
Same. But I do think that's another team like San Diego State that can be upset. Do we want to go to the second round or do we want to go down to the lower bracket?
Let's kill this bracket.
All right. So we got UConn. And this is a tough region. I know everybody's been saying that as far as UConn kind of getting screwed with the region. I think the region got screwed with having UConn in it because UConn's the juggernaut. And so all these really good teams, the Iowa States, Illinois, et cetera, FAUs, they all got stuck in the region with UConn, man. That's a terrible blow, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, by all means, there's going to be a ton of UConn people in the pool. And just from a game theory standpoint, if you have, Al, you said you have over 200 people in this pool, picking UConn is probably not the way to go if you want to win it because there's going to be probably 80 or so people that have UConn.
I hate the game theory though because it makes you pick a team that you don't truly believe in, right? So you zig when everybody zags because you don't want to be one of the 102 people with UConn. So you end up picking an Arizona or a Kentucky or a Marquette. But do you truly believe that one of those teams can win it all?
Well, let me give you a fun little set to think about for UConn. Four reigning champions have entered the Big Dance as a 1 or 2 seed this decade. None of them have gone past the second weekend.
So what are you saying?
So I'm saying UConn could be ripe for the picking for an upset.
Are you picking that upset?
No, not yet. Not yet, at least. No.
All right, so we all got UConn over FAU.
Let's pick up the pace a little bit here. We're running slow. We're going UConn.
Dude, we're picking like 40 games. Like, what do you? It's not going to take 2 seconds.
I want to make sure that the listeners are logged in here, and then we got to get moving a little.
All right, we're picking 63. Well, these will go faster because we've already talked about all the teams now. All right, San Diego State and Yale.
Let's go Yale. If we're in Yale, we're going to go Yale.
Let's go for it.
Yale. All right, BYU or Illinois?
BYU, fire in threes.
What do you got, guest?
No, I'm going to go Illinois on that one.
I'm going to go respect my Big Ten brother in Illinois. And then Drake and Iowa State.
Drake.
Iowa State.
Seltzer's going nuts. I'm going Iowa State also. UConn and Yale in the Sweet 16. UConn, and then Illinois and Iowa State. I'm going Illinois.
Yeah, I'm
first of all, you hold on. How are you going to skip UConn and Yale? Is New England stand up? That's a big game for that.
Yeah, the state of Connecticut.
So I'll go UConn now.
Illinois and Iowa State.
Illinois.
You said Illinois and what?
Iowa State.
I'm gonna go Iowa State.
I'm gonna go Illinois. I just don't think Iowa State has enough on offense. And then UConn and Illinois in the Elite 8.
I'll go UConn. It's hard for me. I'm not a big Illinois guy, but you've seen them more than I have, Al.
Yeah, UConn's gonna win that, right? Guess you got UConn.
Illinois can. They're a really good team offensively. I could see that being an upset. I don't know if I have the balls to pick that though.
Hurley's just got those guys revved up.
Yeah, Illinois is a little bit of a one-trick pony too with Terrence Shannon. All right,
their defense is not good.
Let's go down to the West. Mississippi State and Michigan State. Do we believe in Izzo?
Mr. March?
You can't ever count him out.
I guess.
No, I got Michigan State.
That's fine.
All right, St. Mary's and Grand Canyon, the Lopes of Grand Canyon.
I'm on the wrong page of my notes. I'm fine with Grand Canyon. They got a Kansas transfer, so they got a big time player on that roster. St. Mary's they're always decent. They finally ousted Gonzaga from that conference this year. They got a big white guy in the middle, but give me Grand Canyon.
Yeah, Grand Canyon's been good for a while, but they had to miss the tournament because of those rules where, like, when you join D1, you couldn't make it forever.
Yeah.
I don't mind Grand Canyon here.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, and then we got Alabama and Charleston. Nate Oates.
Listen, I don't want to keep picking upsets, but I'm going Charleston here.
Guess?
They are experienced. They shoot the three well. And Alabama's defensive rating is one of the worst in the country. They don't play any defense. And if you get a team hot from three and you're not playing any defense, look out.
Roll Tide.
What we already had a 13. Let's take another 13 here. Let's take Charleston over Alabama.
Love that.
I think you're right. I think you're right,
man.
No, I think you're right, Seltzer. This is going to be a track meet.
I was going to say Alabama's they lead the country in scoring. Like, you think Charleston's going to be able to be the team to stop that?
But they don't play defense, so both
no,
teams
I know, but still,
who has ball last? Man. All right, Clemson is the 6th seed against New Mexico, the 11. I have New Mexico. They're actually favored in this game as far as Vegas is concerned.
New Mexico has some NBA pedigree on that roster, if you're not mistaken. They got Eddie House's son, and they got Jamal Mashburn's son.
Mashburn's son, yeah, I've seen him. He's good too.
I'm going to Mexico.
Yeah, for them at that seed to be favored, that Vegas knows something there. So I'm gonna go with them also. They're the Lobos, or if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep. And they're coached by Richard Pitino. They got kids everywhere on that team.
Mm-hmm.
3 Baylor. We're taking them over 14 Colgate, right?
Yeah, Colgate's 5 straight tournaments though.
Yeah, they're experienced. Yeah, we'll go there.
All right, and then 7 Dayton against 10 Nevada.
I'm gonna listen to what you guys have to say here. I got good notes on both. Dayton's a really balanced team, but Nevada's hot. They've won 10 of 11 coming into the tournament.
I like DeRon Holmes. I think he's a kid that can make a name for himself in the tournament, leading Dayton. So I'm gonna take them just because of him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Flyers.
All right, that takes me off the hook. We're in for Dayton.
And then we got Arizona over Long Beach State, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Long Beach State has a coach that's fired.
The beach.
Yeah, I heard about that.
UNC and Michigan.
UNC.
I think UNC's prime for an upset, but let's go UNC here. I'm not in on this Michigan State team.
Wait, so you're assuming that UNC is going to get by I don't know who won that game tonight. Was it Wagner?
I guess Wagner did win because they're officially in that bracket.
What Wagner is in the dance.
Man, I was hoping my boys at Howard, the Bison, got in there, but yeah, I mean,
I think North Carolina is dreadfully overrated as a 1 seed in this tournament. But the way we have this bracket shaping up, they're going to skate to the Elite 8.
I was going to say,
there's a lot of people saying Michigan State shouldn't even have got in.
Yeah. All right, I got North Carolina. Well, they got a former Carroll product, AJ Hogard.
He's been there forever.
Yeah.
He has. All right, North Carolina. Then we got Grand Canyon and Charleston.
I'm going to stick with Charleston here.
No,
I'll take Grand Canyon, so I guess has to decide.
Yeah, I'm going to take Grand Canyon.
All right.
Who was the guy that was from Charleston that was that was an NBA prospect?
Anthony Johnson.
Is that him?
Yeah.
The guard?
Yeah, point guard.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
11 seed New Mexico against 3 seed Baylor.
I'm going to go Baylor just because I've picked New Mexico to go far in brackets in the past, and they've always let me down. And I want to go New Mexico again here, but I'm not going to fall into the trap.
I'm taking Baylor also. They played the hardest schedule in the country this year, and that is a huge indicator of success to me. When you can be good and you've played very good teams all season long, it's a reason why, in my opinion, Gonzaga has never won at all. So I'm going to take Baylor as well.
What was it? It's Baylor, and who was it? The other team?
New Mexico.
New Mexico.
I'm going to Mexico here. Baylor's in it. They got a lot of young kids. Baylor does, and experience in these moments can come up big time. I think that New Mexico could steal this one.
All right.
You're outvoted there, though.
2-1, but guess is calling the upset. And then we got 2 seed Arizona against 7 seed Dayton.
Let's go.
I'm big
Dayton.
on Arizona. I'm big on Arizona this year.
I think Arizona is very prime for an upset. You know what? I'll take Dayton. I don't think I think Arizona's overrated. I think they're always.
No, I'm changing my pick. We got too many upsets. Arizona. I just wanted to say Dayton.
Arizona's good, man.
Yeah, Arizona.
All right.
Arizona.
And then we got UNC is going to beat Grand Canyon, right?
Yeah.
And then Baylor and Arizona. I'm taking Baylor.
Yeah, I'm out on Baylor. I'm going to go Arizona.
I'm going to stick Baylor too.
All right. UNC and Baylor.
I'm going to go North Carolina.
I'm taking Baylor also.
And you got these kids are like 12 years old. They got.
All right. So we got UConn and Baylor on one side of the Final Four. Now we're up in the South region. Houston's already in over Longwood, 8 seed Nebraska and 9 seed Texas A&M.
We have to take Nebraska. They have the Asian curry.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's
5 seed Wisconsin against James Madison.
JMU. Big on JMU.
I'm in on JMU. Wisconsin's lost 8 out of 11 coming in.
All right, let's take the Dukes. Speaking of Dukes, we got 4 seed Duke against 13 seed Vermont.
Yeah.
I feel like they play every year in the tournament.
Yeah.
I feel like it's always Duke, Vermont in the first round.
Or Belmont, or one of those teams. Vermont, Belmont.
Yeah.
Duke, they're one of the few teams, in the one and done era of college basketball. They actually have some guys who have been around for a year, so they have some experience. I think they're a little soft inside, but Vermont's not going to be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Yes, Duke. Are you taking Vermont?
No, I'm gonna go Duke.
Yeah, I also have Duke. All right, and then Texas Tech 6 seed against NC State.
The fighting Zaire Smiths.
I'm going NC State here. I saw a stat on Texas Tech. They got a guy who shoots 36% from the field, and he takes 25% of their shots. One guy takes 25% of the shots.
Jesus.
He can't shoot. And North Carolina's got a guy who's 300 pounds who plays.
Dude, DJ Burns. If you haven't seen him, he's the man. I know everybody's mad that Robbie Avila didn't make the tournament in Indiana State, but you got to get eyes on this DJ Burns kid if you haven't seen him. He's 275. He said that he idolized Hakeem Olajuwon growing up, but he has a body like
Oliver Miller?
No. Who was the big boy in Memphis all those years? Zach Randolph.
Zico.
The Kingpin.
Yeah. So I'm taking NC State also.
I mean, I guess at this point it doesn't really matter, but yeah, I'll go with them.
Your guess.
They're hot right now.
Start us off.
Texas Tech is not hot. They're the opposite of hot. So
that would be cold if you're listening.
Yeah.
Yes. You got 3 seed Kentucky against 14 Oakland.
Kentucky.
Yeah, I got Kentucky also. They're a chic pick.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
One of the kids in my 8th grade class said they're going to win it all, actually.
Shepard is a 6'3" white guy and is projected to be a top 3 pick in the NBA draft.
Yeah, he's very good. My boy DJ Wagner did not have a great season. He has plummeted.
Yeah, I haven't even heard of him.
All right, guys. Florida 7 seed, or we got the Boise, Colorado winner.
I got to go with my boys in Gainesville, the Gators.
What do you got, Seltzer?
I'll pass this to you. I'm on the fence here. I think Florida beats Boise, but I think Colorado beats Florida. So I'm kind of stuck in the middle. So I'll let you kind of.
I'll take the play-in game winner. I'm a big play-in game guy. I think the momentum is key, and every year one of those teams makes it out of the first round.
Yeah, all right, I'll ride with you. We'll do the play-in winner because I think Colorado does beat Boise.
All right, and then we got Marquette in Western Kentucky.
Marquette. From what I hear, that game may be 95-85. Like those teams, Western Kentucky plays at the fastest pace in the entire country, and Marquette will run and gun with you as well. So keep an eye on the over in that game, depending on what the total is.
All right, we got 1 seed Houston against 8 seed Nebraska.
I got to think Houston swallows up the Asian curry.
Yeah, I agree with that. Even though I don't love having all 4 1 seeds get to the second weekend, but I'll take Houston also.
Yeah, I'll go with that. And I'm not a big Houston guy, but I think they'll get by in that game.
How do we feel about James Madison's chances against Duke?
I like him a lot, actually.
Taking him? We have a lot of upsets.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with Duke. I don't know where your head's at, Al.
I'm going to go James Madison, man. They're good. Like they're good. They could if there's going to be teams that can make a run that's out of nowhere, they're one of them.
Duke has the metrics. The metrics that I look at, they have the metrics to potentially win it all. I'm taking Duke. NC State and Kentucky.
I'm going to go Kentucky with that one.
I'm fine with that, but that's a tough one. I'll stay Kentucky too.
Yeah, couldn't you just see Kentucky playing like really undisciplined basketball and just blowing that game?
I could see
They don't play
Kentucky
any
being.
defense.
I could see Kentucky being this year's UConn, where they just get hot and just beat the doors off teams. And I also could see them just first round just being like, "What happened to these guys?"
Yeah, there was a Kentucky team not too long ago that had this same kind of pedigree where it was like they can win it all if they're hot, but they can lose in the first round if they're not.
Yeah,
And I think they lost in like the second round.
I think that's every year with those guys. It's just a new roster every year.
Yeah. Do we like Shaka Smart and Marquette over Boise, Colorado?
Yeah, just because it's the unknown of who we have.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. All right, Houston or Duke?
Let's go Duke.
Yeah.
I've seen them play. They struggle to score the ball at times. Their defense is great, but they struggle to score.
I think James Madison could be in that spot, but if with these two, I'll go Duke.
I would have taken Houston. All right, so we got 4 seed Duke, and then we have Marquette and Kentucky.
I like Marquette. They can score, and Kentucky's defense is not great. Give me Marquette.
Yeah, I'll go Marquette.
I'm leaning Marquette also. All right.
Yeah.
And then 2 seed Marquette against 4 seed Duke. We're gonna have Duke in the Final Four. Are we gonna do that?
I don't think they're gonna get to the Sweet 16 as it is. So I guess I'll go with what do you call it?
Marquette.
Marquette. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Marquette.
I would have taken Duke. All right. So we have Marquette in the Final Four joining UConn and Baylor, and now we're down in the Midwest. We've already advanced Purdue, Utah State, and TCU.
Jamie Dixon, fighting Jamie Dixon.
Yeah, your man. He's been there forever.
I'm about a Jamie Dixon guy. I'll pick him.
Yeah, I think that TCU they're a tough match for Utah State. I like TCU in this one.
All right, I'm going TCU. I don't really have an opinion. Gonzaga or McNeese? I love McNeese State here. 30 win team. Gonzaga has one of those teams that just like plotted through the regular season. There's no magic in this Gonzaga team.
How can you call them a 30-win team after the text message I sent you yesterday?
Listen, Seltzer, you're right, but at the same time, the guys that know what they're talking about with this love that team.
That's fine. But I'm just saying they're a 30-win team, and they beat a team called the Mississippi School for Women. That's not an exaggeration. That's a team that they played.
No, I know.
I can't help with these teams. Look, we got a team named Longwood in the tournament. All right,
Mississippi School for Women.
I can't help that. It could
And
be
then
it's all
there's
ruse.
another team called like Bible Studies.
Dude, it's all ruse to get guys to apply to go. They think, oh man, all these women must be attending this school.
Maybe they'll be in a tournament soon. Who knows? So I'm gonna go there. It's McNeese Gonzaga, you said?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go McNeese.
All right.
I agree. Gonzaga doesn't have they're a weird team this year.
Seltzer, we still have our override. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, I know. I'm holding on to it. I'm not gonna.
I mean, McNeese. The one thing I will say about McNeese is, even though like there's people,
I'm using it here. Gonzaga override.
All right, let
me just
go ahead.
Let me just say real quick. McNeese is a team that, even though like when their schedule is what it is, but like they beat teams up. So like if you're a team like a mid-major and you have those kind of question marks about your competition, I look at if you skim by them or if you beat them up. And they beat teams up. They also, I believe, if I remember correctly, they beat they had like one or two good I think they beat Michigan at one point this year.
Yep.
If I remember correctly from when I was looking at their schedule.
Yeah, but so people keep saying that, but Michigan sucked.
Yeah, but still, for a team like McNeese, who's playing Sisters of the Women of the Poor, whatever the hell Seltzer said their name was, they still beat them, and they're going to beat them. I mean, I'd imagine that was at Michigan because they're not going to McNeese to play them. So that's still a really good win. So I mean, they're like I said, the talking heads at the networks love these guys. So I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt. I'm going to go with that 12-5 upset in this.
All right. Well, that was well spoken, but Seltzer overrode us, so we got
92-23 over the Mississippi University for Women. Also 96-55 over Biblical Studies, and 110-46 over Champion Christian.
That's why. Well, like I said, they're beating cats up.
You can only play the teams on your schedule. So
That's
I'm
it.
pretty sure I looked into them and they were D3 schools. To be honest,
Whatever, they took care of business.
the one of them played Immaculata. They lost by 20 to Immaculata.
So I'm actually glad you took that though, because as a former longtime Kansas fan, this Kansas team has bust written all over it, losing to Sanford in the first round. I got
just see that
Sanford.
their best players out.
Yeah, the injuries are all over the place. They're not a good road team. I think Sanford beats them. And I didn't want we have a lot of 12s and 13s already.
That's all right. We're going to rack up the points in the system.
What's that line, Al, in this game? What's the line? Do you know?
I'll look it up.
No, I don't know, but I'm taking Sanford.
Keep going, and I'll look that up.
Because Sanford, I agree 100%. Like, they are a ripe underdog to go. They're actually another team. Sanford and McNeese are two of those teams that, again, the talking heads love these teams. And especially with Kansas's injuries and the way they've come into the tournament, they're ripe for the picking for Sanford to get this upset.
Kansas is laying 7.5.
Okay, Sanford is such a tournament team. It's such an upset tournament team. They turn the opposition over. They just run up and down the floor and they jack up threes. So
I think too, for Sanford to play an up tempo, like I think it says they're like 14th in tempo in the country, and that's big when you're playing in a place with altitude like Salt Lake City. I mean, Kansas is going to be on their toes. They're going to be gassed.
Yeah, and they shoot almost 40% from three.
Yeah, they're a nice squad.
So we like Sanford.
Yeah.
All right. 6 seed South Carolina and 11 seed Oregon.
I'm going Oregon. South Carolina's been winning games all year, but they can't shoot the basketball. They're kind of just tough. Oregon is well coached. They always seem to make runs. They just won the Pac-12 tournament. And they have a 7-foot big man. I always love a good big man. So give me Oregon.
Yeah, I'll go Oregon if that's what you're gonna do. Al, what are you doing for this one?
I mean, I'll take Oregon. I don't really have an opinion. It's fine. Creighton and Akron.
Creighton.
Yeah, dude. Ryan Kalkbrenner. He's one of those guys that's been in college for like 25 years.
Creighton's my squad. If you remember last year, I had him in the final championship game. Gotta go.
Well, my boy. Speaking of which, Al, my boy from Howard. You saw that story? He's been in college 8 years.
Yeah.
He's in his PhD. He's getting a PhD. He's had like so many different exemptions for COVID and 2 season-ending injuries and all kind of crap.
Dude, in like 100 years, they're going to look back at this one decade ever since COVID and be like, what the hell was going on?
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah. All right, 7 seed Texas against the play-in winner of Virginia and Colorado State. I don't know who's up right now.
Either way, I'll take the Longhorns.
Yeah, I'm fine with Texas.
It's could you consider Longhorns a innuendo squad?
Oh yeah,
it has to be a 15 or a 16 seed.
Oh, okay.
Longwood's the only one that hits.
Colorado State is pounding Virginia right now, 27-14 in the first.
You said Longwood's the only one that hits. You said
Longwood's the only one that fits the bill this year.
No, we got St. Peter's again.
Oh, true. There's two.
I was going to say for you saying Longwood's the only one that hits. I was going to say pause.
I got you.
So dare we take St. Peter's over Tennessee?
No,
not this time.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. All right, second round, number 1 seed Purdue against TCU.
Seltzer loves Purdue. He loves.
No, Al loves Purdue.
No, I never loved Purdue.
Al's a big Edie guy.
No,
you are.
I love Edie. I don't care. I love Edie.
If you traded Donovan Clingan for Zach Edey, Purdue would have won back-to-back.
Purdue's better than most years, though. I'm going Purdue here.
So am I. Purdue has the shooters this year. Everybody on that team got better this year. I got Purdue.
Yeah, I'll take Purdue.
Gonzaga or Samford?
Gonzaga.
I'm going Samford.
I'll go Samford also. Let's just set this bracket on fire.
Dude, but like there's always at least 1 or 2 teams that get to the Sweet 16 that had no business doing it.
But we got 6.
Yeah, we got a lock, yes.
Hey, but it's wide open this year.
Well, listen, that's the way the scoring works. It's worth taking a shot.
This is the year for the upsets to pick them. 17 of these number 1 seeds in these conference tournaments didn't even win their tournaments. So anything is wide open.
Every year, though.
That's historic.
But it's been that way the last few years. If a 7 seed gets to the finals and the Final Four now, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's more parity in college basketball nowadays.
Yeah.
All right, are we taking Dana Altman's squad over Creighton?
No,
I love
I like
both these
Creighton.
teams.
Who
you got?
I got Creighton.
All right, then that's fine. That takes the power out of my hands. The Rick Barnes special. Next one.
Texas or Tennessee?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah, after Texas beat Penn State last year, I shouldn't have even taken them in the first round. Now we got Purdue and Samford.
Sanford. Yo, Sanford's going to the Final Four, bro. What's up? Where you from?
I got Purdue.
Yeah.
I'm ready to use my override on that, Seltzer, if you want to take
I got Purdue. I'm with you.
Creighton and Tennessee.
I should actually give me Sanford. I want you to use your override for Edie.
Oh, no. We're out.
That's a smart play there.
We're out.
No, all jokes aside, dude, Purdue always wets the bed in these spots, man. Sanford's hungry.
Creighton.
What was it again? Creighton and who?
Tennessee.
I go Tennessee.
Wow. I don't love
Big East isn't good this year. So.
I don't love either of these teams. But Tennessee's got
the
that
second ranked team in the conference in the country.
Huh?
Big East was the second ranked
They only had 3 teams in the tournament this year.
Yeah, and they were pissed about it.
Yeah,
St. John's was pissed. A couple other teams were pissed.
You know what? I'll take Creighton. I think Creighton's got the experience. Tennessee is a little bit of a one-trick pony with Dalton Neck.
I can't wait to send you guys the Blue Jays.
Oh God, that gift again, Jesus! Can I override and do Akron at this point? All right, Purdue or Creighton? I got Purdue.
I
got Creighton.
Seems to be there, so I'll say Purdue.
All right, Final Four, boys. So we have a 2-1 seeds, a 2 and a 3. Over on the left side of our screen, we have UConn and Baylor.
UConn.
Yeah, UConn. And then we got Purdue and Marquette.
Purdue.
I got Purdue as well. All right, that leaves us with the battle of 1 seeds, UConn and Purdue.
It's John Whack.
Terrible.
I'll go with I would love to see E raise the trophy like 24 feet in the air for his reach, but I'm gonna go with the Huskies to repeat.
Al's got the shirt on, so I don't even have a pick here.
Go ahead. I might not use my override. I might let you make the call here, Adam.
Cashing money in the bank here for this one.
We haven't seen a repeat in almost 20 years.
I know. That's why I said this is whack. I don't think either one of these teams.
We saw a team. I was originally going to say UConn, but I'm going to change. We saw a team a few years ago get bounced by a 16 and then come back and win the national championship. Maybe it repeats itself. So I'm going to go Purdue.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that Purdue does right the wrong to the story that happened last year and pull off what Virginia pulled off after they lost as a 16 seed as well. And Purdue beats UConn in the championship game.
So E's going to raise the trophy like the Yeti at Halloween Havoc. Just raise it at midcourt. Look at the size of the Yeti.
Double bear hug.
What's the entry for your pool? $20?
Yeah, $20. All right, so what's the tiebreaker? We need a total combined score for these two teams. It's funny how many people mess this up every year.
152.
All right. Well, I'm going to use my override, and I'm going to do 153.
Smart. That's
what's this? The Price is Right.
Our bracket has been entered, fans. Good luck, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's been entered, all right.
I just sent you the payment from the 3K bank account.
Fantastic. So I'm going to let you guys. I'm going to let the fans in. If you've made it this far, I'm just going to give you a couple secrets before I get out here because I do not feel great right now.
So maybe we put a poll out. How do our Keystoners? Al, you missed it earlier. I told Seltzer I was thinking of the name for our beloved fans, and I came up with the Keystoners, to which he loved it.
Can I use my override on that?
Oh, come on.
Come on.
Keystoners. The poll could be, do you think that our bracket is A, whack, B, super whack, D, historically whack, or
D, Samford?
C, historically whack, or D, right on point?
Samford. Well, let me ask you guys. Go ahead.
Speaking of whack, oh no, you're gonna give your secrets, Al.
Well, yeah, but I also want to ask you guys this: will you put your bracket in once and then that's it? You don't look at it again. You don't tinker, or are you tinkerers? Will you tinker until tip off on Thursday?
Nah, I mean, back in the day when I followed college basketball a lot more than I did, I would tinker a little bit. Now it's set it and forget it.
I'm traditionalist, man. I'm the guy. I do one bracket.
Same.
I set it. I don't do like a bunch of pools and all that kind of stuff, putting multiple entries. I do one bracket. If I meant to win it, I'm going to win it.
So this was the only year. I agree with you, Chris. That's my mindset. I'm in a work pool and an Al's pool. They're very similar, but there were a couple changes just because of Al's scoring system being a little bit different that I tried to bounce out. But for the most part, I agree with your theory. Your bracket is your bracket. There's nothing worse than the guy that has 3 brackets.
Yeah.
And then comes to you when the 14 seed beats the 3 and says, oh, I had that upset because he picked it in one of his 3 brackets. That guy's the worst.
That guy is annoying, but I disagree with your take that you have to have the one. I think if you're given the opportunity for multiple brackets, you can still. So like last year, what I did was I had 2 that were basically the same, but with different champions. So it's just I'm almost hedging my bet. You know what I mean? I'm not changing. I'm not making radical changes to the bracket for each of the 3.
That's fine, but I don't agree with that doing that. But you can't claim like you picked that champion. Like I had that pick.
Bullshit. Bullshit. There's one winner.
I'm with Seltzer on this one.
No, I'm not in this to say that I know more than everyone else.
I'm just trying to get that paper.
That's fine if you're just doing that to win your pool. I'm fine with that, but you can't claim that you picked the right national champion because you have multiple pools. That's like somebody claiming they had a perfect women's bracket when nobody saw it.
Hey,
that's that. These
what was that?
terrible.
2007 or what was the year I said that I did that?
Yeah, you said you did it. Nobody's seen you did it.
Hey, you ain't got no evidence. It's about what you can prove.
Terrible takes. All right, I'm going to give three secrets away, and then I'm out of here. Number 1 secret is teams that play fast can't win at all. If you look historically at pace numbers, teams in college that run a fast offense do not do well as far as winning the title. Doesn't mean they can't make it to the Final Four. Doesn't mean they can't make it to the finals. But those slow, grinded out teams that run the half court sets, they're more successful because they run the more efficient offense. They maximize their opportunities. Number 2, strength of schedule matters. And I already said it. Gonzaga never wins because Gonzaga doesn't play anybody for 4 months, and then they suddenly have to turn it up and play 6 of the best opponents that they've played all season long in a row. So strength of schedule is a big deal. And then number 3 is offense. You need to have a good offense to win the entire thing. You can't pick a team like a Tennessee or like an Iowa State that rides their defense, because even though defense travels, it gets tired. And teams with these light them up offenses, we're in an age of offense in basketball and in college as well. They're going to find a way to score points, even against the elite defenses. So those are my 3 tips to finding your champion.
So, Al, I got to say that those are really good tips, and we'll see how they come to fruition this year. But you've been exposed as an Edey guy, first and foremost, but you've also been exposed as a Tobias Harris guy, as that's why you're going to leave because you don't want to join segment 3 when we play Trash Tobias Harris.
Well, I got one quick would you rather, and I'm out of here because I know we're doing a little would you rather watch Tobias Harris or, right? Okay, so do you guys get, like, when you bite your cheek, do you guys get these things? Do you guys get those when you bite your lip or your cheek?
Yeah.
Like sore? Would you rather watch Tobias Harris or have one of those sores? Because I gotta be honest, I'd rather watch Tobias Harris.
Yeah, I'm watching because when you have those, you just like your tongue goes to it all the time. You can't leave it alone for some reason.
Yeah. I'm dying right now. It hurts so bad. Dude.
Yeah,
I don't have it on my. I don't have it on my mouth right now, but I got an ingrown like piece of skin that's now growing inside my nail, one of my fingers, and it kills.
Yeah.
Oh.
You ever had that? It's almost like a blister. It's awful.
I'm not sure exactly what that is, but Al, I get it more in my cheek than in my like front lip.
I get them everywhere. Casey's never gotten one in her life. I think it's genetic. I think you're genetic.
Yeah, I don't get them a lot, but I've had them.
Yeah. So you're talking about like right under the tip of your nail bed?
It's like right on the side.
No, I get them sometimes right at the tip underneath, and it hurts, like it burns like hell.
Yeah, that's what it does. Like if I hit something, like if I hit like the side of my desk or something, it's like I got like shot in my finger.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No, start this thing up. I'll stick around for a little bit.
All right. So listen, the genesis of this is quickly. Obviously, the way Tobias Harris has played the last few weeks, he's been out the last 2 games. By no coincidence, the Sixers have won the last 2 games. So Chris thought it would be a good idea to play Would You Rather watch Tobias Harris play basketball or do X. So Chris put together, how many you got in there?
Dude, I didn't even count. I would say at least 20 of these.
All right, let's run through them quick then.
All right. So we'll start off slow here. There's a lot of crazy ones, but we'll start off slow. We'll go, would you rather have Tobias for another season or watch Blackhawks Sharks NHL game? Those are two of the worst teams in hockey, let alone watch a hockey game, period. Two of the worst teams, Blackhawks Sharks.
Do I get to bet on it?
No, just straight watching it for 3 hours just to watch it.
It doesn't, or have Tobias for another season?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah, you're talking about 82 games versus 2.5 hours.
All right, so hey, we're not hockey guys here, so that's a lot.
So we wouldn't even know that they suck.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought they were two. I thought they were two of the better teams in the league.
Yeah, Chris Chelios and
Patrick Kane and Martin Hossa.
Benny Yevgeny Nabokov.
Wait, you said Marian Hossa? You said?
Yeah, I said Marian Hossa.
Bro, he's been retired for like 10 years, I think.
Fucking Tony and Monty.
I just said Chris Chelios.
Would you rather? Let's see. Let's go with one here. Would you rather? I can't even say it. Would you rather kiss one of the other two co-hosts on this show in the mouth, or have Tobias Harris for another season?
I'm comfortable with my sexuality, but I'll watch Tobias play a game.
Not to be a makeout. Just
fuck her up, big boy. Fuck her up, big boy. Kiss me with those big lips.
Yeah, you talk about watching a hockey game versus a season. A kiss is a second.
I'll give you a smooch guess. I don't care. Is this your way? Is this your way of asking for one?
This might happen live on the air. Al for a pucker for getting Tobias out. All right. Would you rather have Tobias for another full season or watch Jordan Poole on Jeopardy?
That'd be awesome.
Jordan Poole on Jeopardy actually be fantastic.
Dude, something's wrong with that dude.
What if he was good though?
I don't know, man. He ain't got no common sense. Yeah, you watch him on that, like I'm like, sometimes I feel bad laughing at the dude because I don't know if something's wrong with him or not.
Are you still in on him?
Huh?
Are you still in on him? Is he?
No,
do you still like him?
No, he can't have a guy like him and win a game. No. Have Tobias for another season or go clothes shopping with your spouse every day.
That would be worse for Casey. I love clothes shopping, dude.
See, me too. But I think I'm gonna trick Seltzer with this one.
You know, I'm taking Tobias for another season.
Yeah, I thought you'd say that.
Listen, there's for whatever reason, shopping exhausts me. I leave the mall and I need a nap every single time. I don't know why that's the case. I can't do it.
Sarah said she'd rather have Tobias and go shopping with me every day.
Casey would say the same thing. I usually do most of my apparel shopping online anymore, but when I do go to brick and mortar, I'm in there forever because I'm indecisive.
I'm picking.
I'll see like two different shirts or two different pairs of pants, and I can't decide which one to pick. I try them on 3 different times. It's a mess.
Yeah, and Megan's a digger. Like she wants to go through the sale rack.
Me too.
That's not me. I can't do that.
And look, I'm a thick brother. All right, I gotta try my stuff on because everything don't fit the way it's supposed to fit when you got my dimensions. Unfortunately. Pause. All right.
And we know you move at a fast pace. So.
Are you a planet?
My bosoms. Fight John Jones for 1 minute or have Tobias Harris for another season.
No, I'm not getting in the ring with nobody.
Yeah, I'm out on that.
Tobias
I'll take Tobias. I'm out.
You might not live in that minute. Like that could be your death.
Yeah.
With that dude.
How big's the ring? Can I run?
Does it matter?
Yeah, I can't run away.
He's gonna catch you anyway.
Do I have to last the minute, or can I just like get in there and like give myself up and tap?
No, you got to go a minute. I mean, unless you get knocked unconscious, then at that point,
it's a matter of when you get knocked out.
Yeah.
All right. Now this is specific to each of you. Now I'm glad, obviously glad that you joined, that you stayed on, but especially for this question, would you rather watch a full season of Justin Fields as your quarterback or have Tobias Harris for another season?
Does that mean he's on the Eagles as the Eagles quarterback, or does that mean I'm a Steelers fan?
Either way.
Somebody get Tuna on the line.
If your team you root for, Justin Fields is their starting quarterback, 17 games.
I can't do 82 games at Tobias again. It's gotta be Justin Fields.
Yeah, This is like, am I sacrificing the Eagles or am I sacrificing the Sixers? I think. Oh, I really don't want to watch Justin Fields, dude. I'd take Tobias.
Oh my God.
I really don't want any parts of
Or
Justin.
would you rather have Tobias Harris be the Eagles quarterback?
Yes. Option C.
Could you imagine him against the blitz? He would just throw the ball to the crowd. All right, Seltzer, for your question, would you rather eat a plate full of onions?
No. Tobias to a lifetime contract.
Oh my God.
Max.
We gotta get you in therapy.
Supermax.
Not even if they're sauteed in butter, a little salt.
No, I can't even look at them.
Bro, onions is a good item, man. You're missing
5 years, $260 million for Tobias.
A big onion. Wait a second. I gotta hold on. Wait, Seltzer, how do you feel about this onion? Wait a minute.
Maybe you pull out a blooming
It's
onion.
gonna be like a softball.
Look at this. I've been shopping at Trader Joe's lately. This is a normal size onion, right? This is a normal size yellow onion. Look at the onions they sell at Trader Joe's.
Longwood.
There you go.
Look at that big onion.
No, Trader Joe's. I don't like going to Trader Joe's, but they got great stuff.
I love Trader Joe's.
And let me tell you this, the secret, I did not realize this. Trader Joe's is infinitely less expensive than your normal like Giant, ShopRite, Acme. It's so much cheaper.
It's the shopping experience that sucks because you're in there with it's all weirdos in there.
It's tight. I wouldn't say that, but it is tight.
And it's tight.
But they make up for it with the checkout process.
Yeah, checkout process is solid.
Checkout process is fancy. It's amazing.
Overall, I'm in on Trader Joe's.
Yeah,
very much. I drive a little bit further, probably like ShopRite's right on the corner for me, but I'll drive 15 minutes away to go to Trader Joe's.
Yeah, when Sarah and I were dating and when she lived in Ardmore, we went there all the time.
Wait, one more question on Trader. Is that your primary supermarket or is that your supplement?
It is now, but when I need to get stuff like that they don't have, like paper towels and that kind of stuff, I go to ShopRite.
See, that's our supplement, I would say. We're still Giant primary.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather bring back Al Horford or have Tobias for another season?
Oh, no.
You're talking about a season of Horford?
That was just a meme that he said.
A season of Horford or a season of Harris?
Yeah.
No,
I want no parts of Horford, dude.
Horford's banned. He's banned for life. He's
going Tobias with his 2 points for 30 minutes?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Al Horford sabotaged us.
Now, I would agree with you, actually. This was going to piss off some listeners. Would you rather go fishing or have Tobias Harris for another season? I would rather have Tobias Harris.
What kind of fishing?
I don't even care. I went fishing one time. It was 50 degrees, cold, wet. I caught squat. Never again.
If I'm just going in like a lake or a bay, then I'm going fishing. But like if you're taking me deep sea fishing, I'm out on that. I'll take
because the thing is, it's a relaxing experience for a lot of people. But for me, I'm too competitive. So if I leave without anything, but just to say that I've fished, I'm not going to be happy with it. And you got to bear the elements or conditions. You don't know what you're going to get into. It could be cold and wet. Like when I went, it could be hot. It could be bright, sunny. You never know. And the fish might just not be in that area, and you just don't have anything to go home to, or home with, I should say.
My cousin Sean, friend of the pod, I don't know if he's a Keystoner. I'll have to ask him. But he lives on a man-made lake where you can go fishing. And I've taken my kids there twice now to do it, and both times we haven't caught anything. And him and I, God bless us, we try our best.
Fish in there, still can't catch them.
No, there are, yeah, but like we try our best, but like we're not fishermen. So like we're trying to untangle these lines and all this stuff.
That's another thing.
Dude, it's all going bad. Last time I went there, he was in his backyard and he was walking around and he ended up stepping on like a hornet's nest that was underground and got all stung up by these hornets. The kids are screaming. I'm trying to get them back in the house.
Yeah, it's too much. I'm not a nature. You know, brothers, we don't go camping.
Yeah.
Fishing we do. I don't though. But the camping thing, I told Sarah, I was like, you better put the heat on in the car and put the seat back. That's better.
I tell you what, you start getting south like Randy Moss, big fisher.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we fish. Fletcher Cox, a lot of those guys, we fish, but I'm just not one.
I know, I know you don't fish out because you called him a fisher. The fisherman.
A fisher price.
With Temple Coach Fisher. Now, knowing the audience here, or knowing my co-host, I should say, reading a novel cover to cover, not an audio book, but reading the actual hardback novel, or Tobias Harris.
Do you think I'm not a reader?
Like a 300-page like Twilight cover to cover.
I enjoy reading, guest. I don't want to read Twilight if that's what you're asking me.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd read the book.
And listen, as somebody who wrote a book, I got to do the audio, man. I can't. It's tough for me to have the like patience to read cover to cover, like the hard copy book. I can't do it.
You got to find a book that you like, because when you find a book that you're into and you enjoy it, you love to do it. You know what I mean? That's almost the hard part about reading, is trying to find one.
I was reading Heat 2 last summer, and which is going to be a phenomenal movie when it comes out. And that was good, but I still bought the audiobook after reading half of it. I was like, I want to hear it play out in my head to imagine it versus read it.
I'm out on audiobooks. I've never tried
Really?
it. I've never done it because I think it's cheating. I don't think it's the same.
I've done one. I was fine with it. I'm going to do another one. I got to drive up to Albany next week. I'm going to plug one in.
How about this one? Again, knowing my co-hosts and myself, spending a day as a blue-collar mechanic or Tobias Harris.
Do I have to pay for all the cars that I mess up?
Yeah.
No, you just you know, people come in, you do your thing, open the hood up and figure it out. Whole day. Now you got to deal with the drama. You got to deal with the Karens that come in and they're like, "Where's my car at? I dropped it off an hour ago and I need 4 things done. Why is it not finished yet? I'm the only person on the planet."
Yeah, this is a little bit of a weird question, because if it's just one day, I can deal with that for one day, right? Because I know it's over at the end of the day.
What about if you had to do it for an entire NBA season?
Yeah, now I'm out. Now I'm out.
No. Dude, mechanic's tough, man. Any blue collar job, God bless you. Whoever's listening is a blue collar worker, God bless you. I couldn't do it. How about again, this might make some people mad, but we can say this. Walk around in the deep south in the Bible Belt with BLM and Stop Jewish/Asian Hate shirts. Or Tobias Harris for another season. It's rough down
Tobias.
there.
I'm not putting my life on the line.
It's rough down there.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the ring with John Jones.
And you're talking to a black person, an Asian person, and a Jewish person, and we're still saying that.
I'm out.
All right. Go back to dial-up internet for the day.
For a day, yes.
For a day, yeah, for sure.
Dude, that was slow, man. I don't know. Think about what we do now with especially as a teacher.
Yeah.
Think about that.
I don't know how people taught before the internet, before Wi-Fi, before I don't know. I don't know how it was a possible profession.
Yeah, I agree. Ride SEPTA for a week.
I do that. I don't mind. I mean, it sucks.
I'm not a public transportation guy, but to get rid of Tobias Harris, I'll do it.
Yeah, you're
silly though, Al.
You're a slave. You're a slave to the schedule. I'll still do it. Well, now listen. Now wait a minute. If I'm just going to Lower Merion and back, I'm fine.
No. That's easy, bro.
No.
This is another one I'm putting my life on the line. I'd rather get in the ring with John Jones.
You got to go
5 years, 260.
Unfortunately, SEPTA's had a lot of shootings recently. Unfortunately,
right.
All jokes aside with that. But dude, you got to go back to the 65, bro. Yeah. Go back to.
I'm not taking the 65 to go over and catch the 9 anymore. I'm not
9. Yep. Yeah, man. I'm retired from SEPTA. I'll take Tobias Harris. I can't do it anymore. I'm done. Retake your worst class in college for the semester. Or have Tobias Harris another season.
Guess as teachers, we have those continuing education credits that we have to get so many years. So my worst class though. I don't know. Seltzer, do you have in your head what your worst class was in college?
I took this class called, I don't know if it was the worst class I ever took, but it was called Rhetorical Process.
That sounds awful.
Yeah. What even is that?
Huh?
What even is that?
Who sees that and like, you know what? Like, that's for me.
It was like 2 words. It was part of my major when I was a communications major.
Yeah,
and it was like the art of rhetoric and speech giving and stuff like that. Terrible. It was terrible. Yeah. I do remember they did show an Obama speech before anybody knew who Obama was. Well, at least I didn't know who Obama was. It was 03-ish, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, I'm past the days of doing homework, past the days of taking tests. I'll just watch Tobias play for another year. I'm not going back and doing that.
Yeah, I'm not doing it because my worst class, I took an algebra class, and the professor was, I kid you, he was right off the boat from China. He could not speak English.
Man, it's hard. I had a guy from Romania that was teaching me freshman year algebra.
Yeah,
I didn't know what he said. I still don't know what he said.
Yeah.
I also took like a night class. It was like an English literature class.
Yeah, see, I like English lit.
I'm not a reader. That goes back to your other question.
I just like dissecting stories and stuff. So I would have been on that. A few more. So this one was from the wife. She wanted to add one. Watch Kate Scott and Ala broadcast all Philly sports games for a year, or would you rather do that or watch Sixers games in silence with Tobias?
That's actually a good one.
That's a well thought question. Give me the silence and Tobias. I cannot have Kate Scott screeching for every Phillies Eagles game that I watch.
Well, how much money would it take for an annual salary for Kate and Ala to broadcast your life behind you for a year?
Dude, could you imagine Kate doing an Eagles game? Could you imagine how mad that would ruin it?
There's no way I could have that.
Listen,
it's bedtime.
For folks listening, I have nothing against. No, I don't think any of us have anything against women broadcasters. There's some out there that are really good, and it's nothing about that. It's the specific Kate Scott thing. At least for me, and Ala, they're both. It's tough.
Ala's gotten a little better with the homerism.
I will say that.
It was off the chain for a while.
You know what I hate with Ala the most is when we're playing on the road and someone like dunks or does something crazy and they cheer and he's like, they act like they never seen a dunk before. What do you want him to do? Boo him? Like he's their player.
Who do you guys got at the top of the mountain right now for broadcasters, video on TV or radio? Is it Merrill? Is Merrill one? Merrill
Philly?
Mike?
You talking about
in Philly? In Philly, is it Merrill and Mike are number one?
McCarthy's good.
I like Tom.
I don't like.
I know how you don't like Tom. I agree, Seltzer. I like Tom.
And I'm taking Fransky in LA over him.
Oh, I love Fransky. Fransky's better than him.
They're phenomenal.
LA's kind of a jerk off.
I don't agree. I think Tom's way better than Fransky. I don't get the Fransky thing. I don't. He's kind of.
Oh, what's his name's the best though? Stop. McGinnis is the best.
McGinnis is the sleeper. He's so good.
And Jim Jackson's good too for the Flyers. If you watch the hockey and stuff, he's been there forever.
What about Dornhofer?
Steady hand.
I don't know if he's still with us or not. I don't know. Where are we at here? Spend a day and a night on one of those deadliest catch ships.
No, out.
No. I just said no deep sea.
So Tobias.
Yes,
Tobias.
I'm in on Tobias with that one. Seltzer, that's one I'm signing Tobias to a 5-year max.
Max out.
I'm maxing him out. Watch the Mets dude from Twitter take a bath.
Oh, but Big Frank?
Yeah,
I'm in on that.
You got to give him a kiss. You got to give him a kiss on the lips too, Seltzer.
This one is too cold.
He had a rant the other day. Oh, he's a Seton Hall alum, and they didn't get in the tournament, and he went
to Seton Hall.
Yeah, he went to Seton Hall. So they put Virginia in, and he went nuts. And I'm sure as I look at this scoreboard now, Virginia with 16 minutes left in the game has 14 points. They're shooting 15% from the floor.
Jesus, dude!
Wow, they're always. I mean, aside from that one year they won, every other year they always just.
That Tony Bennett system doesn't work unless you have players who can make baskets.
5 for 33 from the floor, and they're getting out rebounded 28-12.
Seltzer, you said already earlier about the life narration. How about if you had to have a day in your life narrated by Booger McFarland?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Al?
Yeah, I'd take that.
Take that. Booger McFarland's brutal, man. Dress as a mascot in the heat of the summer.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Because
Yeah,
I think that would be entertaining.
It's better than Tobias.
Because you got to also act as the mascot.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Dress as a mascot with no head atop, so everybody knows that it's you.
That's even better.
Fine with that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring
All
it
right.
on.
Three more. Work at a preschool.
For how long?
For let's say the length of the season. I was going to say, Al, preschool's terrible.
Yeah, no thanks. No thanks.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't do it for a day.
But I think about it. I think about it more than a daycare, an infant daycare. That would be hell.
Yeah, I mean, those people are angels on earth for doing that.
Give me Tobias.
Jury duty in Philly.
Yeah, that's fine. I can do that for a day.
Fun fact: I've never had jury duty.
Same, never.
Really?
I actually got called this past winter, but I got excused. That was.
Yeah, I got a letter. I got a letter for one, but it ended up not going through.
Yeah.
finally, go back to quarantine life.
I'm in on quarantine life, dude. No traffic again. You kidding me?
You
No,
got virtual school though. You like virtual school, you said though. Didn't you?
No, I didn't like it, but I was able to find a happy medium where like I lowered my expectations. Where like you just can't expect much because it's not school.
So
Also depends what quarantine you're talking about. Like the first, like this
full,
time,
full heart, like full top of the like in the prime of like March 20th of 2020.
This time, like this time 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't. I don't want to do that. Where you couldn't even like you're worried about walking outside.
So I was talking to someone the other day actually randomly about it, and I was saying how they're looking back, there were some little things that were kind of cool, like as far as like I know when they opened the stadium back up for the Sixers games, and we went and we sat so wide spread apart from everybody. It was like 3,000 people, and you had like a whole row to yourself. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
But I remember also taking a walk one day around, like you said, 4 years ago to this day, and literally thinking, is the world over? Like, are we ever going to get back to normal again? Is this the new normal where we just see each other on screens and not ever really have any gathering again? That I didn't care for.
Yeah, and there was nothing like there was no sports. There was nothing to watch.
In the beginning, yeah.
It'd be the end of the 3K podcast. We'd be
No, we're not. We have plenty. We can talk about anything.
Yeah,
that'll be when we get deep. That's the real podcast.
People would actually probably be listening more.
You know what we would do? Remember when ESPN had all the athletes on Pelotons? We'll be all on Pelotons, just riding bikes together.
Creative
we would just probably find a random date from like 2009 and just talk about what happened.
All right, guest. I got a couple for you that I just thought of off the cuff while you were going through these. All right, since you were delivering all the heat, and you took the heat. Now take the seat. What's the line?
I was in the seat. I'll take the heat.
There you go.
All right. Would you rather write another book or have Tobias on the team for as long as it would take you to write that book?
Listen, as tough as that was and grueling as of a process that is, it was very rewarding and fulfilling at the end. So I would say, and I still have ideas for new books. So I would say the book.
Okay. Would you rather have Tobias on a lifetime contract where like for life, like he never gets old. He's just always forever. Or you guys have another set of twins.
I love my girls to death, but 2 is plenty. I'd have to go with Max and Tobias out, man.
You could take immortal Tobias
because then you got to buy another house. Like we can't have 4 kids plus 6. That's 6 people in this house. It wouldn't be. It's not built for that. We have to bounce.
All right, last one. Would you rather take Tobias for another season or shave your body live on the 3K podcast?
You're gonna get to
that might happen anyway.
Yeah, we might get that anyway.
I think we can lock that in at this point.
Seltzer's waiting for it.
What's the standings? Where's Orlando at?
Orlando's
that team's trash, bro.
Orlando Magic are 41-28, and they are 2.5 games above the Sixers.
Yeah, they're 1-5.
And the Sixers about to go out west and lose 4 in a row. So,
to answer your question now, ultimately, am I shaving on the podcast, or is it already done?
Yeah, but like the unmentionables wouldn't be seen. Like
the longwood you can keep to yourself.
Dude, I can't. I'm gonna have to sleep on that one, dude. I don't know, man. I really don't. I think Tobias is a great dude. He sounds like a nice guy, but on the court, I don't know if they could take him another season, man. That might be worth it to just get that over with and then not have to deal with it again.
All right, there you have it.
Plus, it'll make me spry and faster if I don't have any hair on my body.
This is now the 3rd time you've said you'd shave your body on the pod.
All right. On that note, we're gonna drop that beat.